All right, guys, as promised, 100 hours later, doing an update. Finally, this Noco Genius 1 has charged my truck battery. It's on a 2018 Toyota Tundra. This is a 710 cca battery. It wasn't 100% dead, but again, this isn't really a, this is more of a trickle charger for power equipment, lawn tractors, ATVs, boats, that kind of stuff. But I haven't been driving this truck very often lately, so I decided to plug this in. If you plugged it in right after you drove it, it wouldn't take so long to charge it. I guess it doesn't really matter either, because if you're not driving it, it doesn't really matter how long it takes to charge it. It still draws about 3.5 watts while it's in its tending phase. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to leave the kilowatt hooked up to it for a couple more days just to see if it drops down any lower than that, while it's in its tending. The other thing is with it, if I had to do it over again, I would probably have gone with the Noco Genius 5. It's about double the price, like $70, but if you were actually in a hurry and wanted to, get a battery charged, for my practical purposes here, this works okay, just because I'm not in a hurry. But if you did have a battery that was dead, this would take you over 4 days to charge it, whereas that Genius 5 would probably do it in 1 day. Probably worth the money. If I had it to do over again, I would have gone that route. But seems like a good product, well made. The case on the plastic is really nice. It feels like if you let it hit the ground or whatever, it would be okay. Real easy to use. There's just one button, cycle through the modes. It's got 12, just like a regular 12 volt AGM, lithium, and then you can do 6 volt batteries too. I don't have a lot of 6 volt stuff, but it's cool that you can do lithium. Like I said, I do have another battery tender junior over here on the ATV. This one's a lot more basic. You cannot do lithium on this, but the nice thing is it comes with the plug to leave it hooked up to a piece of equipment, and then when I'm not plugged in my garage, I can put this weatherproof cover over the end of it here and ride around all day, and it fits right in the crack here, so the seat still goes on. And then when I get back, you just plug this right back in. So that's nice. The Noco came with that too, so you can do that on there as well. The Noco was a 1 amp, and then that battery tender junior actually comes in at the same price and is 0.75 amps. So that would be even slower on a truck, but they do work awesome for the smaller batteries. I appreciate you guys tuning back in for the update, and we'll talk to you soon.